what it has come to.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
Now that you know about the problems with your social interactions, and you know the solution to solving them, now it's time to apply that solution. Now you're going to learn how to get your expectations met, especially with women.
You are not a Jedi yet.
First, you have to learn what types of expectations you should have. There are two types of expectations: dysfunctional expectations and functional expectations. Most of your expectations are dysfunctional in nature. That means they don't lead to order, and they don't satisfy anybody's needs. If your expectations remain dysfunctional, you're going to be that optional guy, not that necessary guy. You're going to be the disposable guy that people want to get rid of or people are indifferent to, not that necessary guy that people want to have around and that people look forward to talking to. If your expectations are functional, on the other hand, that means you're able to meet the needs of the other person. When you can meet people's needs, you become a necessity to them. So what's the difference between functional expectations and dysfunctional expectations? Dysfunctional expectations always result in disorder. If you always want your friends to make decisions for you, if you always expect to sit back passively at social gatherings and just go with the flow, or you always expect women to direct your conversations, your relationships are going to suck. Eventually, you're going to end up miserable. On the other hand, if you're always sharing your person when you're speaking to other people, if you punish bad behavior consistently, or if you give people attention and affection, you will end up with awesome relationships. In other words, your expectations act as your roadmap for your social interactions. They determine where you end up in your relationships. Okay, so let's assume your expectations are functional and you're headed in the right direction. What's next? Well, you gotta ask, are you being specific with your expectations? Do other people know how to meet your needs? If the other person in the relationship doesn't know how to meet your needs, you're not being clear enough with your expectations. Honey, I need you to be there for me in this relationship is a very bad expectation. It's vague. It doesn't tell her anything about how to meet your needs specifically. Honey, I want you to wash these dishes, fold these socks, and then come over here and suck this cock. Is a great expectation because it's very specific. It tells your girlfriend or wife exactly what to do to meet your needs. Now that you've learned how to be specific with your expectations, it's time to learn how to enforce your expectations. Because if you just have expectations, but you don't enforce your expectations,
it doesn't matter what your name is!
You're going to end up frustrated and resentful of other people.
Question!
In any social interaction, there are at least two expectations: the other person's expectation and your expectation. When your expectations are in agreement, there's no problem. But when they compete against each other, one of them has to go. Whenever you're trying to enforce your own expectation, it's always crucial to get rid of the competing expectation first. If you don't remove that competing expectation, you'll never establish authority in a relationship, and you'll never get your needs met. To remove a competing expectation, you gotta learn how to punish. That means you gotta learn how to apply pain. Pain exposes problems. Pain exposes bad behavior. Without pain, people won't realize there's a problem. For example, let's say you're arguing with a dumb bitch. Obviously, there's going to be a clash of expectations.
Not doing all those things, Mark, because he hasn't left to traipse around you, cleaning up your underwear when you dropped it on the floor.
If a bitch is arguing with you, that means she doesn't respect your authority. Because most men today were raised by single mommies, they're going to be very reluctant to confront bitch behavior. They're going to be super indirect, and they're going to rely on passive-aggressive, dysfunctional forms of punishment, like sarcasm.
Lacey, you're superhuman. I just don't know how you do it.
Thank you, Mark.
Men also make the classic mistake of trying to address each and every mischaracterization thrown out by women. The problem is, these mischaracterizations are endless.
You're equating that with being a male chauvinist pig. I'm not buying that, and I think most men out there are not buying that. If they're buying into
Well, guess what? I never said become a male chauvinist
Yes, you
pig.
are! That's exactly
No, I
what
didn't.
that's exactly what you're saying.
You dope. By reasoning with her, or justifying your position, you're essentially rewarding her bitch behavior. Instead of ignoring bitch behavior, or worse, rewarding it, you need to confront it.
Something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man.
That means you need to punish bitch behavior.
Knock, knock.
When punishing bad behavior, it's crucial to identify it by naming it. There are various types of punishment, from disagreement, rejection, and ignoring, to using negative associations and enforcing consequences.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Stop it!
I don't like your jerk-off face, I don't like your jerk-off behavior, and I don't like you.
You're a cunt.
Shut up, cunt.
Shut that cunt's mouth or I'll come over there and fuck start her head.
Shining a light on bad behavior is extremely painful, but necessary to prevent future bad behavior. Also, be very careful about how much pain you use when you punish someone. Only use enough pain to stop the bad behavior. Once the bad behavior stops, so should the pain. Giving out unmerited punishments will change healthy fear into unhealthy terror. Once you have applied an appropriate amount of pain, the bad behavior will stop. The correct punishment will remove the competing expectation. Whenever you establish authority with women, you'll notice that they go through 3 stages. The first stage is the aggressive rebel stage. I'm a strong, independent woman. This is when a bitch aggressively refuses your authority.
I'm sure it's all fun to sit around and throw stones from behind a coffee cup. Alright? Stop. What? Wait. That's not a joke.
After punishing her appropriately, she'll move on to the next stage, the passive-aggressive victim. Since she knows she can't directly seize your authority, she'll try to take it by guilting you into giving it up. This is when she starts saying things like, "Why are you being so mean to me?"
And I put his together, but he said my girlfriend and I...
What do you mean you put it together? What does that mean?
She will always try to put the focus on you and your behavior.
Why are you screaming?
But instead, you need to resist this and completely focus on her bad behavior. But don't be fooled, she's not yet in submission to your authority, so punishment is still required. Bad bitch, no. The last stage is submission. This is when a woman finally fears and acknowledges your authority. Submission is always followed by attraction. Once a woman submits to your authority, it's time to reward her.
Thanks.
Whenever you give a woman a pleasurable reward, she's encouraged to repeat that behavior that earned her that reward. Giving women this pleasurable incentive is necessary to get your expectations met. I know this entire concept is difficult for a lot of you vaginas who are raised to believe that giving a woman everything she wants is the way to make her fall in love with you. But doing things your way will guarantee that you remain an option to women, but never a necessity. If you're always getting dumped in your relationships, or women tell you they're bored, or they just want to be friends with you, you're not exercising your authority over them in the relationship. Remember, people won't want to be governed by your authority if they don't see a benefit to it. The purpose of exercising your authority isn't just to get your way. Your authority is there to meet the needs of those under your care.
These are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay, we talked a lot about how to curb bitch behavior, but why would a bitch even allow you to be in charge in the first place? Let's talk about positive incentive. And one of the most fundamental ways you can give women positive incentive is with a good expression. A good expression gives people pleasure, and it's necessary to communicate your expectations to people. If you can communicate your expectations in a pleasurable way, it will be very easy for you to get your needs met and form relationships with new people. The goal of communication is to convey your person to another person. People want to form relationships with those that they can relate to, and the best way to relate to people is by addressing their needs. Lots of times in conversation, people will make the common mistake of trying to think of the coolest thing to say, or they try to think of exciting things they've done in their life, like going on roller coasters or adventuring through the Amazon jungle. Just looking to relate to people through shared interests or common experiences is a poor way to form a relationship. If you've never gone surfing before, you can't relate to surfers. And if you've never gone rock climbing before, you can't relate to rock climbers. The best way to form a relationship with another person is to always aim at their necessities. And what people need most in a social interaction is you. Believe it or not, you are enough. When people can see the world through your eyes, their need for social interaction is met. If you learn to convey your candid thoughts, feelings, and reactions to your experiences, people will definitely want to get into a relationship with you.